Hi Libra, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you a general monthly tarot reading for the month of August 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do want to remind you in this moment to go ahead and like the video, leave me a comment down below about your situation, how it resonates, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Interestingly enough, first and foremost, the message that came through when meditating on your energy was only a few steps away. Only a few steps away. Before I could even begin the reading, as I was grabbing my notebook with your message on it, Spirit said, okay, the rain being obnoxious right now is purposeful. You might be experiencing a lot of rain in the month of August, but as well told me to kind of sit back and relax for your reading, more so than in comparison to the other air signs. So you might be kind of pushed to relax a bit more, to sort of, you might feel inclined to be on edge, but then pushed by Spirit and the universe to relax. But let's begin by doing some shuffling. Don't get too relaxed. You're only a few steps away from what feels like a big change or a couple of big changes. So don't get too comfortable, right? That comfort's only temporary. There's more to experience than where you are now. Hold on, this is not right. And you might also be experiencing that kind of feeling throughout the month. This is just not right. Shit, well, excuse my language. Might feel inclined to swear, is just not rubbing you the right way. But we're pulling cards from the Gilded Tarot Royale deck. Keep in mind, general monthly read for the sign of Libra. Whatever placements it ends up being for you within your chart is well, if you're here to hear about a Libra, you're more than welcome to join. But because it's general, take what resonates and leave what doesn't for somebody else. And I am accepting requests for personal readings at this time. All right, Libra, all you gotta do is shoot down to the description box where you will see the, bear with me, the options pricing in my email. And so just reach out and I'll get that started for you. You might feel very distracted, very kind of fast paced with your mind and mainly with how you're speaking. What do we have for Libra? Thank you, Spirit, for August 2021. Our lovely Librans. Show me some Libran love down below. Some Libran pride. Okay, we have... Interesting, we got a bunch, but I'm only taking 4 of which. Also, you have for Libra, thank you, Spirit, for the end of August. Ooh. All right, perfect. We have all 6. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Pentacles. A lot of Libras are planning for a new financial fresh start or something that entails a chunk of finances. How does that, what does that actually mean? It may be costly, or it may be an investment. You finding as if you're thinking thoroughly about your finances and how you're going to utilize them to your best advantage, or thinking a lot about your savings. This isn't a money and career reading, but you could find that that's a huge focus or underlining focus throughout your month. 9 of Cups as well. Wow, we're going again with the second bottom of the deck. Cheers to Libra. Cheers to all I've accomplished, all I've had to overcome and deal with recently. Life has not been easy, but you know what? It's going to get better. Only a few steps away. Moving on. Also, no, we won't go with the third bottom. We're beginning with the King of Swords. It was the 6 of Pentacles. Sorry, cat hair. You might be experiencing random gifts of abundance from the universe to reward you for your hard work, your efforts, for not giving up. You know, reminders that you're so damn close. King of Swords. You begin the month feeling super wise, super confident, but maybe just a little bit serious. Feeling like whatever took place in the previous months, what I feel like mainly in July, was just a lot to handle. Feeling like people or situations are rubbing you the wrong way. Feeling like, interesting that I had that moment in the beginning of the reading where Spirit's kind of pushing you at times when you feel on the edge of your seat to just, you know, sit back in your throne a bit. Enjoy yourself. Remember, I'm Libra, you know? King or Queen Libra. ready to kind of experience all that life has to offer. But again, it's like when you get too comfortable, don't be surprised if your guides kind of push you to not be as comfortable, right? Or to make a situation a little bit less comforting due to needing to change things up, right? If you get too comfortable, it'll never change. Whether it's a home situation, a job, a relationship, friendships, the spirit saying that the universe and your guides are making it a little uncomfortable for you for a reason. You know, if you're too comfortable, you'll never move. Let's do this. This kind of motivating vibe coming over you to begin the month, and you'll see at the end as well, or throughout the entire month, Spirit saying, but you just feeling like a little bit regal, you know, kind of like, I know a lot. I've experienced it all. If you think you know more than me, we can talk about it. I could prove you wrong. We'll see. Allowing for yourself to feel balanced, feeling like things are starting to align for you, fall into place smoothly but surely, as I'm drawn to kind of how stiff this feels. Do you see how, like, although I'm feeling kind of regal and kind of proud, this sort of like stiffness is coming over my body, where you're going to need to find ways to relax, you know, loosen the tension within your body. You might find that energies and situations you're wrapped up with, especially in the beginning of the month, are just a lot, and they're making you stressed or on edge. And so you're just kind of feeling a little bit dramatic in a very over serious way. Like, I just need to pamper myself, or I just need to really escape this situation. You're only a few steps away. Hang in there, all right? Spirit saying, bear with it. Again, don't get too comfortable. And that's kind of the feeling at the beginning of that chunk of the month. And then towards the end, it's just like, okay, well, I'm not. Let's change this up. 7 of Cups. You make your way to the middle of the first half of the month, and you find yourself having to make a lot of choices, a lot of decisions about your future, about the next change. You'll be surprised if you get, as I'm getting them, goosebumps all over your body. Your guides kind of telling you when you're making the right choice. It's a good sign. At other times, you just find yourself sick to your stomach when you're considering an option or a choice, and that's your guide or your intuition just being like, absolutely not. You know, pay attention to the red flags. Some of you, it has a lot to do with your love life. For a lot of you, again, it's a move of residence, traveling, and having to do with a new job, career choice. Whatever ends up being for you, Libra, could be multiple areas of your life. It feels like a lot is changing. It could be just one big change that initiates a lot of other changes. But either way, it's like, I don't know why I'm being drawn to this space where it's like, no, that's not right for me. Certain people coming through, whether it's family members, whether it's acquaintances, friends, with their fiery opinions, passion, whether it's meant to be helpful or not, coming off in the wrong way, rubbing you the wrong way, being too forceful, and you kind of needing to take a step back and be like, whoa, ho, ho, got a lot going on here, a lot of choices to choose from, trying to kind of listen to my guides, my intuition, and you know how I truly feel in this moment, instead of listening to all of your opinions. Thank you, though. I'll keep an open ear, you know, sort of trying to be respectful, but at the same time being like, no, I kind of know what's going to happen, you know, and you may not be the one or the people that I'm going to take advice from at this point. Much appreciated, but trying not to come off ungrateful, if that makes sense. Being now drawn to the wings here, Spirit in the universe is prepping you to fly towards all you deserve, or towards, again, a certain big change or changes that you are so damn excited about, that you deserve. It's time to do it. You know, you may find that a lot of hope is floating around in the air, even if things are just not ideal. Moving on. Keywording. 8 of Cups. You find yourself feeling a bit tense as you make your way to wrap up the first half of the month. This third chunk, if you will, where you're like pondering this and that. Can't help but think about your past choices and decisions, right? As you make, again, certain choices and decisions about where you're heading, about what's happening next for you. You can't help but think about the ones you made before, or how you kind of let yourself down, or other people, situations in the recent past, and you're like, well, damn. Thinking a lot about, for some Libras, having to turn your head, your back, and do what's right for you. And it's interesting how I just look down. It makes you feel a bit emotional, doesn't it? I'm getting choked up. You might feel like you're leaving people and situations behind, and it's like, I gotta do what's right for me. Sorry. Part of me is not sorry, and that's okay. You know, you feeling as if you can't sleep at night because of all your emotions, or because you have a lot to decide or a lot on the horizon. Finding that you just want to take a moment and look up at the stars, the moon. At times feeling like you have nobody to do it with, even if you have a lot of people in your life. Why is it that a lot of situations that have been removed from my life, destroyed, or just cups that have been knocked over, why do they feel so necessary? And Spirit's saying, because we're making room for new. We're making room for some, fresh stuff, fresh people, interactions, experiences. You have no idea how good things are about to get for you. But you can't let your emotions get the best of you. I need for you to kind of snap out of it, get it together. We know you're only human, and it's good. You can learn and grow from those emotions. But it's like really towards the end of this first half, the very end, you're going to be like, okay, I'm doing what's right for me. Sorry, I got to do what's right and travel to this place, or I have to do what's right for me and move to this new residence, even if you're leaving people behind, or go to a new job, even if you're leaving certain coworkers, and all the meanwhile, you got these strong, intuitive gut feelings coming in, or these strong opinions flowing towards you, and you're like, yeah, again, this is a lot, and you wonder why I get overly emotional at times, or just kind of explode. But at the same time, it's like you, again, are not, I didn't mention that yet, you're not feeling too apologetic for it, even if certain emotions come over you that would normally push you to feel apologetic. Being pushed by your guides and spirit to kind of keep that beautiful Libran chin up in the air and kind of bounce back to that regal way of being, and remember things are going to work out. You're only a few steps away. The Hermit. You make your way to begin the second half of the month, and you feel as if you're good with other people, situations. You kind of take a step back, where you're pushed by your guides and the universe to do just that, to be within your own energy. I'm hearing you're so special, and I don't know if someone was just thinking that about me, or simply your guides thinking that about you, communicating that to you in small ways. Your heart's huge, and people don't fully realize that at times because you don't know how to express it, or you come off or rub people the wrong way because you have a lot going on internally. And it's like, okay, I get it, and I don't really feel the need to explain myself, especially as things are kind of wrapping up with a bow, an emotional bow, if you will, as you kind of part ways and do your own thing. Feeling like, excuse me, cat hair again. You might have a cat that's really comforting, a cat or two, or maybe a dog, but you find that you're not really guiding the way for others. You might find that way to a certain extent, but you're more so trying to be a bit selfish at this point of the month, at this point in your life, and guide the way for yourself. For some of you, so you can guide the way for others. A kind of, I gotta take care of me so I can take care of you kind of vibe. You might find that you're seeing infinity symbols. Interesting, it came up in a Leo reading recently. And you might find that a lot of options that keep popping up throughout the month are tempting, but you know that the possibilities are endless, and certain temptations, whether it's people or situations, could lead you astray or lead you in the wrong direction. And you kind of now have a sense, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can kind of taste what's ahead, the changes that you've been desiring, that you've kind of been planning for and setting into place, into motion. And so it's like, as these temptations pop up here and there, you're like kind of swatting them off, or hitting them like a mole, or whatever, however you want to visualize it. Interesting, because when you find yourself in your own energy, you're just laughing at your own jokes. You find yourself kind of enjoying yourself. Some of you enjoying your alone time more than you normally do. Those of you Libras who love your alone time, it's like, I already knew this was going to help. I already knew that I would enjoy myself. You know, I can be my own worst critic at times, but as well, like, I laugh at my own jokes, you know, compliment myself, just finding that you're amusing oneself quite easily. Being aligned with the King of Swords, it's this kind of feeling that your alone time brings back that regal feeling. You know, you sort of reflect on all that you've learned and how much you've grown over the months, and I'm hearing years, and being like, yeah, I made a lot of bad choices, sure, I'm not perfect, you aren't either. And so just kind of remembering and reminding yourself, not spirit and the universe will, that you've got it going on, that you've grown so much, that you've made a lot of choices that have benefited you as well, that everything happens for a reason as well. You might be seeing that message often. Ace of Cups. You'll make your way to the middle of the second half of the month and you'll feel so abundant, feeling like pressure's starting to build up to a certain extent, but like excitement, right? Other people sort of pressuring you to do this or that still, but you sort of lighting the fire under your own ass to move forward, to move forth, you know, and feeling so abundantly intuitive, but feeling abundant in a multitude of ways at the same time, feeling like your cup is still overflowing, still overflowing. Interesting wording. For some of you, it's just beginning to overflow, but it has a lot to do with your perspective. Feeling like anxiety is running a bit high at the same time, as you feel inclined to immerse yourself in water for one reason or another, whether it's swimming or, you know, taking multiple showers a day. Feeling like your third eye is opening for a lot of you Libras as you become more spiritually connected. Trust that connection. Trust it. It's guiding you in the right direction. Allowing yourself to remember that you're going through a phase. It's a stepping stone, right? A lot of you feeling as if you kind of backtracked or took a couple steps back recently in order to propel yourself forward. And it's the reminders that come through from Spirit and the universe at this point in the month where you're like, I can now see it. I can see why this is happening. You know, I was able to save a certain amount of money, or was able to kind of relearn something, or was able to sort of experience something differently this time around. So I now can leave and go do my own thing, or I can go and make these changes in the right way. Trying to do something right this time. Seven of Cups. It's aligned with the Seven of Cups, sorry. Oh, trying not to say sorry as much, right, Libra? Trying not to apologize as much, not wanting to appear weak or as if you care too much. And Spirit's saying, don't stress it. Don't stress it. People like to hear that occasionally. You do. You know, but again, the Ace of Cups is aligned with the Seven of Cups. Feeling like a lot of the choices you had to make earlier on in the month or even previous to that are starting to kind of get closer or show up. And it's like, things are working out. They're going to work out. You know, I'm getting there. Everything's not perfect yet, but one thing at a time, right? Step by step, day by day, moment by moment. I got this. I feel abundant. I feel intuitive. I feel connected. Who's got it going on? I do. Giving yourself a pep talk as you make your way through the last parts of what feels like a difficult situation or something that's not ideal. You know, you'll get there. And again, it's just so close you can almost taste it. You can taste the abundance in a multitude of forms. Temptations will still pop up as you have to continue to swat them away out of protection for what lies ahead. What's meant for you. The Chariot. You make your way to wrap up the second half of the month and month in general, and you are feeling so motivated. Spirit's saying, I should have said so damn motivated. Excuse my language. Feeling a new sense of balance come over you as you make your way or get ready for a new change that it feels like it's going to happen at the beginning of September. Feeling like, oddly enough, things start to quiet down a bit as you can hear the rain stopped. Feeling like a storm is coming to an end or a rough chapter is starting to be wrapped up with a bow. Wow. The silence is comforting, but not at the same time. You being put in certain situations where you have to acknowledge your feelings, your thoughts, but feeling like, you know what, I can choose to acknowledge them, but I also can choose to distract myself with work or, you know, thinking about all the positive things that are lying ahead for me. Be careful not to think back to the past too much as you finish up the month. Being aligned with the Eight of Cups, finding as if you are finally making your way to this change or changes that you'd have desired for a while. But again, it's like you kind of doing what you have to wrapping up loose ends, saying a goodbye to a certain group of people or certain individuals in your life, being like, some of you, they're definitive goodbyes, others, they're temporary goodbyes, and it's like all kinds of emotions are popping up, and you're like, I gotta do what's right for me, you know? As things feel a bit softer, a bit lighter, a bit more emotional and vulnerable towards the end of the month. And you're like, it's all gonna work out, it's gonna be okay. I'm getting there, you know, I'm only a few steps away. All right, Libra, so I hope this reading was truly helpful. As always, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to email me about booking a personal reading. Hoping you have the most amazing month, wishing you nothing but the best, sending you love and light at this time, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Libra.